We had a client that we worked with, and she was really struggling with profitability. She kept raising tuition. She actually did 3 tuition increases within a 15-month cycle, and she still could not catch up. So I helped her work with our 6 money leaks in schools, and she only used 3 of the 6 money leaks and cut her expenses by 50%. 50. She did not fire anyone. She did not slash any of her programs, and she did not work more hours. Again, the 6 money leaks are not hacks or spreadsheets. These are patterns. They are small decisions that feel so normal that your school does, but they quietly drain your school's profit. So if you've ever wondered why you're working so hard, but still not seeing the return, this is your first step to clarity. Click the link in the show notes and find out what it's actually costing you.
Welcome to the Schools of Excellence podcast, where we have conversations about education, leadership, and building a school of excellence. The goal on this show is to bring you clarity, up-level your mindset, and give you practical strategies and inspiration so you can show up with confidence and trust your decision-making. I'm Chani Wolshansky. I'm a mom of 4 under 10, a former New Yorker, and been in the early childhood field my entire life. And I'm so grateful that you've joined me for this conversation. Welcome back to episode 13 on the Schools of Excellence podcast. Hey guys, today I'm really excited to be talking to you guys about the 3 ways to transform your school morale during this season. Now, if you've just tuned in and you're like, oh, I don't have a morale problem, I don't need to listen to today's episode, especially if you are performing at a high level, if your culture is doing incredible and morale is super high, I want you to stay and listen to today's episode, and it is critical. And if you are struggling with morale and you do want to turn things around, today's episode is for you. Because here's what is important to understand about morale and culture. Success and the success in your school is never, ever a straight line. Anyone who has achieved any level of success can tell you that the journey is always messy. It's up, it's down, it's backwards, it's forwards, it's nauseating sometimes, right? Because here's what's important to remember. The struggle is always a guarantee. Success is not always guaranteed, but the struggle will always be there. And so that's why we have to learn how to fall in love with the struggle. We have to learn how to rise quickly when there are struggles, because sometimes it feels like everything is blowing up in your face at the exact same time. And you need the tools that I'm going to share with you today in your toolkit, because you will be leaning on it. You will use them to recenter yourself, and many times use it as CPR for your team, because sometimes things go to crazy town in a matter of seconds. All of a sudden, everything is doing amazing. And then the next second, your morale is like, what is going on here? What happened to my A players? How is this happening? Why are people complacent? Why are things not getting completed, right? All the things that used to be happening that helped your team perform at a super high level are all of a sudden not happening anymore. So we want you, myself, I want you to be ready and armed to bounce back when these struggles happen, because that is the sign of great leadership. So let's dive in. What is the first strategy to raise morale, transform morale during this season? Morale is a mental game. Number 1, morale is a mental game. Mindset is everything, guys. Lean in here, okay? Morale is not about your $5 gift cards and the bonuses and the extra treats that you give your staff. Morale starts with you. It is the mental game. It is how quickly you bounce back from struggle. This podcast is called the Schools of Excellence podcast, because excellence is a mindset. It's excellence. My definition of excellence is your choice to show up better than you did 5 minutes ago. I'm going to say it again. Excellence. My definition of excellence is your choice to show up better than you did 5 minutes ago. That's excellence. It's not letting challenges get in your way. So the question you need to be asking yourself when morale is looking like the way that it does is, how do I show up with the right mindset? How do I choose my attitude, right? Whether you're in a struggling culture or in a thriving culture, how you choose your next level mindset and your next attitude determines the next level of success. So what you need to be working on first when it comes to transforming morale is you need to work on your mindset. You need to develop your mental toughness. That is the number one driver of performance, right? And how do we do that? You need to get into the trenches with your team. You need to reframe success for them. So many times I get in conversations with leaders who tell me like, I want to see this with my teachers. I want to see this with my leaders. I want to see this with my directors. You need to get in the trenches, right? When people tell me things like, oh, I'm going to invest in the teachers, I'm going to invest in the directors, I can't invest all this in myself. That is the wrong attitude. You need to get your head straight first. Because let me tell you something. This has been studied again and again. Skill and talent never win the game. It's the discipline to show up consistently. Listen deeply. And I'm going to say it really loud for the people in the back. Skill and talent never win the game. Discipline and consistency are what drive true continued success that stands the test of time. The leaders who are in our programs learn discipline and consistency. So many times people come to me and ask me, how do I replicate this? How do I get the results that director got? Let me tell you something. It's not a gimmick or a hack. It's discipline. It's consistency, right? Because the team absorbs your energy. You're the leader. So when you're passionate and you're disciplined and you're consistent, that's what's going to happen with your team. They are looking to you and saying, how confident should I be right now? They're mimicking your confidence, right? They're looking at themselves and saying, should I believe in myself? They're looking at you. Do you believe in yourself? Right? And so many times I have leaders get on the phone and they're like, I want my team to be more confident. I'm like, you're not confident enough to make a decision if you deserve to be invested in. How can you expect your team to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? Why should they believe in you? You need to believe in yourself. You need to have that mindset. You need to develop that confidence, that discipline, that consistency, because that is what's going to show the team how quickly you can bounce back. Because guys, fires and issues always come up. I love when I talk to leaders and like, oh, it's just a busy time right now. I'm like, call me back when you're bored. Never. We'll never have another conversation. It's always a busy time. Fires and issues always come up. You cannot stop that. Here's what you can do. You can learn the discipline and the consistency to build mental tenacity to bounce back. Those are the people that win. The people of mental tenacity, discipline, and consistency to understand how to bounce back from challenges. Those are the people that win, period. The people of the biggest budgets do not win. We have so many people in our program that are tiny, tiny schools, nonprofits, tiny little one centers, and they are crushing it because they have the mental tenacity to bounce back from failure. They know how to rise up again. This isn't like, oh, am I going to fail? You're failing every day. That's part of life. Part of life is that you're going to meet struggle and overwhelm and chaos and self-sabotage. How quickly do you bounce back? Right? Those are the skills you need to be learning. These are not replicable. You have to learn it for yourself. You need to learn the skill. That's your secret superpower. You understand how to bounce back from failure. Okay? So that's number one. Number one is morale is a mental game. You want to confidently lead your school to excellence? I know you do. I know that you're working so hard right now, but it's diffused energy in a lot of different directions. Whatever it is that you want to achieve in your school, whether that's higher retention, skills to hold staff accountable, the ability to start passing the baton to the next in line, the skills to lead difficult conversations, how to get teacher buy-in, parent buy-in, how to schedule a calendar so you can have a life outside of work, how to find the confidence inside of yourself to trust your decision making, and the ability to lead other leaders, the ability to truly step into your greatness for everything that you know that's already inside of you. The Directors in Our Circle and our Owners HQ programs are our premium experience for school leaders to take their skills, their mindset, and their confidence to the next level. We do this through coaching, through training, and accountability. You see, I want to be your guide in the journey so you can be the hero of your life. My team and I will guide you every step of the way to ensure that you get results and a transformation in your school. Because if you want things to change, if you believe in your heart that you have what it takes to make that transformation, and you want someone to guide you, to give you the tools, to hand you the scripts, to give you the done for you systems, to show you the templates, to show you every step of the way what's next, and you want a community of other amazing leaders to support you so you never feel alone, then I want you to apply for the Directors Inner Circle or Owners HQ program to see if you are a fit. You could go to hani.me/join the DIC or click the link in the show notes. All right, thanks so much, and let's get back to our show. Okay, let's go to number 2. Number 2, in the second way to transform morale during the season, is understand the difference between urgency and stress. Understand the difference between urgency and stress, because here's what this is, okay? Urgency is action. Let's take action right now towards a specific task or goal or project. Stress is emotional. It's emotional. It is not with your head leading with strategy and precision and execution, okay? Because the difference in urgency and stress is the perspective. Perspective creates happiness, right? Perspective creates the joy. Happiness is a state of being. It's not I'll be happy when. I'll be happy now, right? Because here's what I've learned. It's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. You're always going to be okay. Keep things in perspective. Remember how you are leading in this way, right? Morale is dictated by your energy and how you're showing up. Are you showing up with consistent stress? Are you showing up with low energy? Are you showing up burnt out and frustrated and exhausted by all of these things that aren't happening? Your team's feeling it. And guess what? When your team feels that, they absorb that energy, and that's how they show up. Whenever leaders come to me and they're telling me their team is struggling, it's because the leader is struggling. No amount of pay raises or 401ks or profit shares or health insurance or whatever you promise your teachers is going to raise morale. That's why it's not one of the 3 things I'm sharing today. Notice, one of the 3 things I'm sharing today of the top 3 ways to transform morale is not with pay increases. It's not with lipsticks. It's not with $5 gift cards. It's not with Starbucks. It's not with a lunch. That is not how you transform morale. It's you. It's the ripple effect. It's the mindset, right? Mindset. Morale is a mindset game. Number 2, understand the difference between urgency and stress. How are you showing up? Urgency is action. So look at your calendars and ask yourself, is there something that needs urgent action? Or do I just feel that everything is stressful and emotional and overwhelming and underperforming and crazy? That's okay if you feel that. But what the problem is that if you continue to feel that and not get help and not choose a different channel and not realize that there is a better system to plug into, your team continues to absorb that. And when they absorb that, they have a hard time bouncing back from that because they're not as resilient. And you might also not be as resilient right now. You need to learn that resiliency is a skill. It's not reserved for the elitist. It's for everyone. Practice it. Bounce back. Okay, so that's number 2. And the final 3rd way how to transform morale during this season is think big and celebrate small. Think big, celebrate small. When you're struggling, when the team is struggling, when you're trying to get traction, break things into attainable milestones. That is the number one thing we do when our members join our inner circle, our owners program. We break down their milestones. We show them every step of the way, every 2 weeks. What are you focusing on next to achieve success? Not what's your 5-year or 3-year vision. I don't care what that is. What are you doing in the next 2 weeks that's going to drive a transformational result for your school? It has to be actionable. It has to be attainable. It has to be measurable. That is what we do. You need to break this down because you need to think big, but you need to celebrate small, right? Because teachers need confidence. Teachers get hopeless, and that's when they check out and they get quiet. That's when they get complacent. That's when lazy things happen, right? Because they don't have small milestones. They don't have a roadmap for success. They don't know what the next step in their journey is. One of the things that we teach in our program are the 6 performance keys, the 6 key areas that help teachers perform at the highest level of a teacher of excellence. And we set the roadmap and we show you how to create a performance plan with every single teacher. So she has a roadmap for success. When people have goals, they have dreams. When they have dreams, they have aspirations. They're pushing themselves. They find internal confidence and morale and motivation inside of them. So you're stopping to find external motivations. You're finding it inside of them. And it comes from giving them a roadmap. They need a blueprint to win and succeed. And guess what? So do you. You need a roadmap for success. You need to know what success looks like. What's your next step? What's this? What do I do now? This broke. How do I take care of this? Right? And when you don't know the answers to those questions, you're floundering. The moment you start floundering and you don't have someone to lean on, or you don't have a system or a tool or a strategy to check into, boom, morale takes a dip. And every time morale takes a dip, it becomes harder and harder to bounce back from. These are the things that determine success in your school. That is why you need to focus on the mental game. That is why you need a plan that you can win with, right? You need that. So here's what I want to bring everything together here for you, okay? The first strategy that I shared with you is morale is a mental game. How do you bounce back from resiliency? The second strategy that I shared with you is understanding the difference between urgency and stress. Urgency is action, stress is emotional. And the third strategy I shared with you is think big and celebrate small. Give people a roadmap for success. And if they are already successful, create career paths for them, right? These are all things that we teach. Our career paths are things that we teach in our CEO legacy group. That is our smaller group of owners who are ready to build executive leadership teams. So what's really important here is morale is dictated by what you tolerate. Morale is dictated by what you tolerate. If you tolerate negativity, you will get more negativity. If you tolerate latenesses, you get more latenesses. If you tolerate mediocrity, you will get mediocrity. Because here's the thing, guys. You need to step up and have these hard conversations with your people. And here's the thing, it's hard. These are hard conversations. It takes leadership. It takes mindset to believe that you can hold people accountable, that you have the skills to follow through, that you understand how to close the loop. And what does accountability look like? One of the things that we have here in the show notes is a template of how to lead difficult conversations. If you are ready to have one of these hard conversations, or you know that you need to, click the link in the show notes and download our difficult conversation template. This will be life-changing for you to realize how to start structuring difficult conversations. With anything in life, guys, you can only impact the team after you impact yourself. You first, then you reframe the goals for the team. That's how you make your team feel certain and confident. That is how you inspire them to be their best. So today I want you to be thinking about which of these 3 things that I shared with you, morale is a mental game, the difference between urgency and stress, and think big and celebrate small. Which one of these do you want to take action on? Which one of these are you telling yourself, you know what? This is what I need to get better at. Is it the mindset? Do you need to get better at your mindset? Do you need to build that mindset skill? Great. You may be an amazing fit to our directors in our circle or our owners HQ. Click the link in the show notes to apply. We'll let you know if you're a good fit. If it's stress versus urgency, right? You're really struggling with identifying what that is. Sit with that a little bit. Think about what that looks like and think about the conversations that you need to be having. And lastly, think big, celebrate small. Who do you need to give a roadmap to for success? Who needs a development plan? Who needs a performance plan to rise to become that teacher or director of excellence that you know that you already have inside of you? Whatever it is that you choose for today, thank you for joining me in this conversation. Thank you for believing that you are worth this small window of time to invest in pouring into yourself. Because just listening to this conversation, you are already stepping into a new mental frame to transform morale. Just listening to this, I know, is already going to put you in a different mental state to transform morale during this season. If you are loving the Schools of Excellence podcast and have gotten any value out of it for your school, I would love if you can do 2 things for me. 1, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And 2, can you please leave us a review? Reviews help other school leaders know that this is the place to learn how to build a school of excellence. And I would be so grateful if you can do that for us. Your help and support makes this show to be able to be listened by the thousands of other school leaders all around the world. Thanks so much for listening, for giving us your time and attention each and every week, and I appreciate that you have joined us.
If your accountant has ever told you to cut back on professional development or slash your teacher appreciation budget or your staff development budget just so you could stay afloat, or has told you, hey, you probably can't go invest in that program, please listen. The problem is not that you're spending too much money on your people or yourself or your investment or your support system. It's that your school has invisible money leaks that are draining your profit, leaks that no spreadsheet will ever catch or accountant. So I created the 6 money leaks of schools that show you the 6 core areas that schools lose money every single month without realizing it. If you close even one of them, your profits will start to soar without sacrificing your team. Go get it now and stop blaming the things that are actually building your school.